Thank you for watching, liking, commenting, sharing, and subscribing right now. When was the last time you gave your time to your community? Volunteering for something. I'm wearing a t-shirt right now. The last time I did something was at Comcast Cares Day, which you might remember we streamed live, gave away a few flip cameras in the day. And it was a tent that was set up by Comcast, and they invited local social media folks. It was coordinated by my friend Shauna, who happens to work at Comcast. Good person working at Comcast. She's one of them. And she invited those of us who are really interested in social media and kind of spreading the message, specifically to nonprofits. So a bunch of nonprofit organizers came through the tent, and there were about, I think, 10 or 20 of us, a handful of people. Well, many of them I knew. Some of them I met for the first time. And we would teach nonprofits how to use Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, etc., to get their message across. Nonprofits who would normally, rely on printed materials or phone trees, relatively outdated modes of communication to get their message across, and to be able to, put enough of a context around these tools that they may hear about in the news, or they may get a link passed to them, but to help them figure out how they could use it to their own benefit was a big deal. And I remember explaining to someone who was representing a local theater troupe, I said, if you've got the rights for a play, you could probably live stream the practice. Just go to ustream.tv. That's the service that I use to do this live stream. And then just, broadcast it out there. You never know who's going to want to watch, the practice. And maybe you could even do the full plays themselves. And, they were just furiously just scratching down all these ideas. I mean, literally with a pen and a piece of paper. Obviously, they weren't like writing on air with invisible ink. I had to say that they wrote it down in a physical capacity, because I guess I just take it for granted that everybody has an iPhone. Not everybody has an iPhone. Not everybody uses these digital tools that some of us, just take for granted, the geeks. Anyway, what I'm getting at is maybe you want to volunteer your time, your resources in general, to your community, but you don't know where to start. Well, you might think about doing your own volun tweet up, where you can get volunteers to help teach nonprofits or other people how to use social media, or you're looking for another organization or some other kind of volunteer event that's happening in your area. The place to go, I would suggest, this is one of them, is allforgood.org. There are a few engineers at Google who put this together, and so it's totally nonpartisan, so it doesn't matter what your political bent is. If you're interested in giving of yourself, this would be one place to easily discover what's going on. It should auto-detect where you're coming in from and then show you the latest results for that. So I'm in the Seattle area. It says, hey, here's some volunteer activities in Seattle, Washington. I could change location if I want to. Or if I click See More, it'll take me to a longer results page. I get a little Google map right there, and I can change the search location even by zip code. Or I can choose the different view. So this is anytime. I can choose today, this weekend, this month. So I can zoom in on locale. I could sort by date ranges and really find these activities that match my skill set. And to me, that's really what it's all about. There are quite a few volunteer opportunities that I likely would not want to take part in, because it's either it doesn't match my skill set, or I'm just not as tied to it in some personal fashion, or maybe even professional fashion. I've volunteered for a variety of organizations in the past. This would have been just of my own time, the Volun Tweet Up. I've done things for the Animal Rescue League in the past, walking dogs. That was, I think, the last time. I don't know if they have one in the Seattle area. I'll have to look, but it was when I was living in Iowa. Of course, I've also donated a variety of equipment to organizations that otherwise couldn't afford it. Even as much as digital cameras. I did that, donated to a shelter. They were still getting into the web, didn't have a digital camera. This was years and years and years ago. And, they're very grateful, because then they could then take that message of the dog or cat or pet that needed to be adopted. They could take it out to the web, and they previously couldn't do that. They could type out descriptions, but, a picture at that point was, just invaluable. I mean, it's that worth that much. And these days, it's all about video. Of course, anything that you can do, you should give of yourself. I mean, your community needs you. You are a part of your community. And if you're doing nothing this weekend, well, consider taking the family to a local event. You can have fun, you can bond, you learn something new, meet new people. It's all up to you, right? You've got to take that responsibility. No one's going to tell you to do it. I mean, hopefully no one's going to tell you to do it. I'm just recommending it. If you're looking for something to fill your time with, yeah, video games are always going to be there. But, maybe once a month, is that too much? I know life kind of gets ahead of you, but just consider this. And the next time you want to volunteer for something, you want to give of your time, you're looking for activities that match your interests, your skill set, your resources, consider heading here, allforgood.org. It just collects a variety of resources and pushes it all into one easy-to-use search service, allforgood.org. My email address, chris@pirillo.com. Of course, you're also welcome to join me in the community of tech experts at geeks.pirillo.com. Volunteers over there as well. The people who are operators, are moderators, administrators, or whatever, are volunteers. They volunteer their time. People can volunteer their time online. I do that. I do that all the time. In fact, I would say that's kind of helping the community. It's helping an online community, so you can volunteer online. People help. People love to help. It's in our nature to help. At least I hope it's in your nature to help. And if it's not, I don't like your nature. You're more than welcome to stop by our chat room. We have operators here who also volunteer their time, their energy, their patience, their expertise. And certainly you can join us. And if you're around long enough and you play well with others, then you'll be given voice so that when we moderate the chat room, you can still participate. That's volunteering. Volunteering your time, experience, expertise. Ask questions, get answers, give answers. It's typically tech. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week at live.pirillo.com. We'll see you later.